Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Victor. Thank you, Mr. Minister Icon. Thank you so much for making our time to be here. It's a wonderful time. I enjoy this, and I've decided to at least dedicate every Saturday, first Saturday of the month, to have this time with you guys. So it will continue to be a monthly gathering of unfiltered design discussions. Let me also thank you again, because the last time there was some good testimonies coming to me, and they look somehow like they got something from it, but they couldn't share anyway. Maybe this time around I'll pressure them to share what they got from it. Okay, because we also upload the entire video is recorded right now to YouTube, and people get to watch too also. I also encourage that maybe we can also share it on our own various platforms too, like that's the highlights from the video and from the whole program, and just share so that people can also benefit too, and also look forward for the upcoming one. All right, so it's always an unfiltered discussion, and by God's grace, it will continue to run monthly for creative designers in this creative industry. And what we are out to do is honest, open, unfiltered conversations. So just be free to express it the way it is. I think it's like for us maybe a give back to the community, because for a number of years I know that some of us, we have stayed more than 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, some are even going to 15, 20 years. So I think it's time we start giving back by some little advices, some things we picked up on the way and all that, so that we can also make the world a better place. Okay, all right. So of course I am Osmond, the presenter for this great creative minds, and of course I run the Macas creative brand. We have a need, the Macas studio. We also have the academy and the intern. Currently those are the three arms, and they're currently doing fine, okay, to the best of my knowledge. And yeah, I reside in Delta State, so though all my, I would say, how will I put it now, all our interns are not residing in Delta State with me, so we are just sparsed around Nigeria, but we are all working together remotely, and it's going on fine. Okay, and of course I have the honor of having Oga Victor, the main boss. He's the founder of Vaunt Media, and Vaunt Media is all about brand identity experts. They are, in fact, when you mean experts, they should, if there's a word better than expert, and I think we should add it to this. And they are brand consultants also. They are about creating impression that matters. I think anybody who is watching this should also look out for Vaunt on Instagram and see what he's been doing. He has been pulling some great stunts. In fact, you will appreciate God that you met Oga Victor if you really go to his Instagram page. And a very good person also we have in the house, or we have the honor of having, his Psalmist Icon. Oops, I thought that thing updated though. Sanis Icon actually runs a design agency. Creativity is like top notch for him. I really appreciate his work. So in fact, when you see his work, if his work was shawarma, you will finish it, you will eat it, you will just lick it, however you want to say it. But he
Oh,
has great jobs. You should check him out on Shift Concept on Instagram, Shift underscore Concept on Instagram, and follow him too. All right, so this program is on future design discussion, but the topic we are talking about today, or perhaps for this month edition, is design dilemma. And that's when you hear this kind of name, design dilemma, well, school has taught us to break the words down. Design and dilemma. Dilemma is just a, that point, that point where you are faced with two, let's say, two look-alike things, two things that you can actually, be in between, to say, should I go here, should I go here, should I go here, should I? So that's that scenario where it's like a confusion. Okay, and that's why we have the subtopic here saying problem solving or self gratification. Yes, I've been on this road personally myself. I've been on this road. I was just sharing on WhatsApp right now how that beginning my design journey, it was all about, I love what I see. I don't care whether any other person likes it. So I love it. And so the euphoria to just continue creating for the love of what I see was just there. And at times, we also get that appreciation from people so that it spurs up the creativity to continue. Like, wow, I love this your design. Seems you like designing. Like maybe this you just did a design. They are all yellow, and you know yellow is very attractive. So it looks very attractive. Everybody say I like your designs. You are doing well. But then somebody asks you to do a design, and the person doesn't want yellow, and now you are stuck. You are stuck because all your life, all your designs have always been beautiful with yellow. Once you just move to that yellow direction, it's so beautiful. Now when you come to the black direction, you are wondering who uses black to design self. Is black beautiful? Truth be told, all colors are beautiful. It's just the usage. Okay. But then we're all about at the beginning self gratification. We just want to please ourselves. But times moved and problem solving came into the picture. Somebody needs a design to solve a problem. And now you're not going to be thinking of how beautiful your design is going to look. It is how that person is going to solve a problem. One prototype is this. I discovered that if somebody is paying you a cash for you to give him a design, meaning he's giving you cash to help him solve his problem. So you should give him his design that solves his problem in return. And don't give yourself back. Like you don't give him back what he paid you for, but you end up giving yourself both the money, you earn the money, and you earn the whole self-gratification thing. So that's the basis of our topic. And so there are some questions we want to share with one another. I want to see how how people go about this whole topic, how people how they are trapped in this kind of dilemma. I want to go here to solve the problem, but I see this other side calling me, so let's see. So the first question here is, one, how do you bring balance? How do you balance the desire to create something aesthetically pleasing with the need to solve a specific problem through design? Okay, so I would like Mr. Vaughn to go first, and in just 3 to 4 minutes, just give us what you think. It's to bring a balance between you creating something very pleasing and at the same time trying to solve a problem. Just like what I just gave as an introduction to this topic. Over to you, sir. The mic is yours.
Sorry, let me start the timer.
Are you serious?
I literally had to put the timer on this time around. Let me. Okay, sorry, that's about how many seconds gone out of my time. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now the thing about this, what we are discussing about today right now is it's not bad actually. There is nothing wrong with self gratification. You understand? And now that we're talking about something that has to look aesthetically pleasing, of course, most of the time the aesthetics has to please the supposed solution providers, than the clients. You get.
Yeah.
But as I said, there is nothing wrong with that. It's more like you just want to take care of yourself. You get. So nothing is wrong with that. But in creating that balance, there is a law of universe. I think that's the eighth law or so, that is called the law of compensation. And that law, the law is generally what you give is what others will give unto you.
Yeah.
So it means that as much as you want to gratify yourself, as much as you want to make something that looks very good, you have to focus on solving a problem. So in creating that balance, because everything about balance is how do you level things up so that nothing fails. The what should be at the back of your mind, the major thing that should be at the back of your mind should be solving problem and not the aesthetics. Once you've solved the problem, everything about aesthetics is going to be easy. You get. For instance,
Okay.
when you are designing a logo, you start with black and white first.
Yeah.
Not with the color.
Yeah.
You start with black and white first. Once you've gotten the logo in black and white, Then you can now go ahead to do the colors. Because if you start with colors,
This is
you
Rema.
there are a lot of details. There are a lot of details that you don't get when you begin with
Papa.
colors. In fact, when you if your process oh wow, I have 38 seconds more under 3 minutes. Okay, I think do I end here or do I just continue?
Continue right on, sir. Just when this timer ups stops, you let us know.
Oh, okay. So when it comes to, in fact, if your process with your clients is that you are carrying them along with the whole design process,
Mm,
the first design you send to the client has to be in black and white.
mm,
If they accept it, then you cannot go ahead to color.
mm.
Because if you send them in colors first, if you don't send them in black and white, what they don't see in black, like it's just like sending them the what they call it now, the skeletal form. If they don't appreciate that skeleton, no matter the amount of foundation and the beauty and everything you put on it, they'll never appreciate it. So it's not just it's the balance should be making sure solution providing is the most important thing. That should be the highest and
Okay,
not the aesthetic.
okay.
All right. So I think I'll stop there. I took 26 seconds extra. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm
Wow,
trying.
you're trying, you're doing well now. All right. I know Mr. Minister Icon has something to add to this, and as a matter of fact, I want you to also go in this direction too. Have you come to that point where what was posed to you was to solve a problem other than to give a beautiful design? We know that there are sometimes maybe the clergies they always look for beautiful design, so they don't really care about the problem solving. Let everything be catchy. That's for them. So I think they speak more of aesthetics than problem solving. But when we now start dealing with brands, advertising brands, we see problem solving as a major there. So let me know how you've been balancing this since your calling in the design industry.
Okay, thank you very much. In fact, this particular issue is something I battled with, and I'm happy that you mentioned the clergy.
Sorry, 2 minutes, sir.
Some
Only
of
2 minutes,
these,
please.
okay,
Thank
some
you.
of these pastors are very wonderful people. You know, you give them what you think it's both problem solving and of course maybe not too catchy. It's just there, and they will tell you no, no, no. I want the font to be like this. I want the font to be like this. I want my picture to shine. I want this. So, at the end of the day, when you get used to that, because of the feedback now, that's what is stuck in your head. You now start struggling with always making all your designs like that, like to make sure it pleases you and pleases those people based on their judgment. But over time I now grew when I started doing some other corporate designs, doing designs for advertising and not church particularly. I now started seeing the difference that, oh, okay. And I started understanding the meaning of color. Like a pastor sometimes does not care if you like use green, use any color. So far that color is beautiful, it's catchy. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind whether the color has a negative meaning or whatever. But later when I started studying colors and all the rest and their meaning, so I began to now balance these things. In fact, basically what I did is I started cutting off some of these pastors that give me issue that would not understand. I
Yes.
educated some of them and they did not still get it. They
Okay.
won't get it. They just want to stress me. They just want to let me do it. And me, I design for both money and fulfillment. So if I don't, even if you pay me and I don't get that fulfillment, not to please myself in quote now,
Yeah.
but there's this fulfillment that comes with when you
Yes.
finish a project.
Yeah.
So it's not about me being pleased and happy. No, it's
Okay.
about fulfillment. If
Okay.
I don't get that fulfillment,
Okay.
I will know that that client is not mine. So I begin to cut them off. So for me, after all is said and done, if you do what is right and your clients don't get it, it's hard time to probably start looking at that client as your secondary client.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Beautiful, beautiful, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Wow. I've had that experience too where you finish creating a design and a pastor tells you he doesn't like it. he doesn't like it, and if you try to find out why he doesn't like it, there's just one big problem. I mean one small problem about that whole design. It could be because you made his picture small, or you put his picture in the
Yes.
frame. So
Yes.
that's the only reason why he doesn't like the design. No, it does not mean that the whole design is not fine. The whole concept can be problem solving. In fact, straight to the problem solving. People want to see. Okay, let's take for instance now a church flyer. A church flyer. People want to see a date. People want to see venue. People want to see time, and they want to see the host, the host of the the program, and the people who are coming for the program. Now you make the
The
guest
theme.
speaker's picture bigger than the host pastor's picture. You are causing a wahala, because then you will now start hearing things like, "That's my son. You are making his picture bigger than mine." Have you been? I don't know if any of you. I be Sam Cycle. You can't relate.
I
Please,
can relate.
it's
Forgive me,
a
I beg.
is a
I
serious
just
issue
remember
in the design
something.
industry. So now
I,
we are posed with clients that want aesthetics or their own gratification more than the problem solving. And I think we must have come to a point where we did not include those kind of jobs in our portfolio or advertise it on our wall, because we felt like this thing is not okay to advertise, or this design was done by the pastor, even though I insisted in holding the mouse. It was the pastor. I don't know if we have been there.
well.
Yeah.
All right, so that is just it, and thank you very much guys for this particular answers you delivered for this question. The next question, question 2 here, is do you believe that there is such a thing as design that is solely focused on self-gratification? If so, can you give an example? All right, I'll go with Minister Icon. You just ended, so let's hear from you on this one. Do you believe that there is such a thing as design that is solely focused on self-gratification? So if you think, let's hear an example, please.
This question is technical, but I think, but I think that there's no such thing.
Really?
I want to be corrected, but I think that there's no such thing in the sense that justice and solution. When somebody is hungry, you give them food. When somebody is thirsty, you give them water. Somebody wants to move from point A to point B, you provide them a means of transportation. So when somebody wants to brand, for example, or put out a design, that's a problem. And so as a designer, you have to provide a solution to it. Okay, and not just look at uh, what will make you happy. The design problem is not there because you're feeling bad. It's there because the owner has a need. So you have to. Every design is actually solution oriented, or should be solution oriented. So I don't think there's anything like. Did I? Am I in order, sir? Your question is no, no. I wanted to ask. Do
Okay.
you believe that there is such thing as design that is solely focused on self? Okay, no. The answer is no. The answer is no.
Okay.
For
Okay.
me,
Okay. You were asking
I
if you're
can't
in
be
order with the
corrected. The answer
question.
is no.
Yes, you are in order with the question. It's just your answer now, because I see that there's a perspective you are coming from. So I think
Yeah.
you are coming from a perspective of which I'm understanding. Like when you said
Okay,
when somebody needs transportation, you give them. When somebody
a
wants to
means
move
of
from point
transport.
A to point B, you give them means of transport.
Yes,
Somebody is hungry, you give them food. So
yes,
that perspective for
yes.
me, it's like, okay, it makes this question want to look like, yes, every design should be problem solving. However, I don't know if Oga Victor thinks otherwise, because he has been laughing since.
I think
No,
I
no,
think
no. The
so.
laughter, the laughter is not based on the. It's just Sam has a way of making you laugh even when you don't want to laugh. So, so it's not necessarily about the answer. It's just the way he answered, and then now cap it up
That,
with, "I hope I'm
that's
in
a
line."
good
It's almost like
compliment.
you will ask the question. Hope I answer the question.
That's a good
So, but I
compliment.
think I think actually, yeah, what he said is not wrong. But
Okay.
I think maybe what we should do is to maybe understand what that self gratification is,
Okay.
so that we don't see it as a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's where the would I say general perspective comes from. Like, self gratification is a bad thing. It's totally not a bad thing.
No, no, it's
It's
not
just
a bad
like
thing.
you are trying to sell your product.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just the best way I can define self gratification. Like, you are trying to sell, you are trying to make sales. You
Okay.
understand? But in business, there are people who, of course, every business, the underlying what makes you to call a business is making profit.
Mm.
Yes.
That's what makes you to call a business a business. So definitely, that's why I said self gratification is not a bad thing. The reason
Okay.
why people go into business, into designs, into the creative industry,
Mm.
is to fulfill their dream life,
Mm.
and to fulfill their dream life, to fulfill their desires. If,
Mm.
of course, desires not in the bad way. So that's basically is what self gratification is. So it's
Okay.
not bad. It's just that there are some people who would go to any length to fulfill that desire, and forget about would rather not focus on creating solutions,
Mm.
and more about, I do this thing so that I'll feel good about the kind of solution I provided.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
You understand? So that is what
yeah.
most people focus on. That I want to feel good about I want to feel good about the solution I provided, than
Okay.
making sure that you, who is receiving the solution, is satisfied and you're sure that that problem is solved. You get? So I think that's just it. So so do I believe that there's a kind of design that is solely focused on self gratification? Yes, there are designers that is their sole purpose.
Okay.
You get? There are
I
designers that's their sole
think
Okay,
purpose. They just
are
want to
they
make sure that.
right? Are they right to just focus on self gratification? Are they? Is it proper?
let me come in
Because
there.
Okay,
Let
some.
me come in there, Mr.
Let me.
Icon. I want to make this broader
Okay.
for us because I get to see a different picture from what you people are saying here. We have
Mm,
just sent Philip to go and create his portfolio, even pseudo projects. And Philip can spend
yes.
time, give
yeah,
himself brief, and start
Okay.
creating something that nobody sent him. But in the end,
Yes.
he is trying to put something in his portfolio. He might just end up
Yes.
be doing this project on self gratification. And that's where I want
Yes.
to ask, where do we categorize people like artists who create, designs just so that they can put in front of their stores or anywhere and people can buy them and go and hang wherever they want them? In hotels, we see some framed design. Somebody spent time to do that design. You must have seen this popular design of a dollar in the mouth of a lady tied. I think somebody did that on Photoshop. Nobody sent them. Most people
Yes.
use Photoshop to do some compositions. They just compose maybe the London Bridge plus the
Yes.
tower, put them together, and just put one caption and frame it, print it out, frame it. This is all self gratification, if you ask me. Nobody send them,
okay,
but
okay.
somebody
So
will
I
buy it and go
think
and hang it.
I
Um.
think okay, yeah. Samis, please go ahead.
Okay. I want to say that design, graphic design, as it were, is still under art,
Yeah,
like ART.
yeah,
Okay, and we have the expression part, and we have the problem, whatever, what's it called, service part.
okay,
When you are expressing yourself, of course you can also do that when you're rendering service. But we have this what musicians will call freestyle. Nobody sent you, no production, nobody. It's not a particular song, it's not in a particular maybe reading per se, but you're just vibing on a particular thing, talking about life general stuff, and it's pleasing to the ear, it makes you happy and all that. Okay, so I think that design has um an aspect also called freestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and that freestyle, it's okay for you, but we can't capitalize on freestyle for a serious project.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference now.
Okay.
For example, I write songs. I also do freestyle. I have my guitar here. I can even do freestyle now as we talk. But I cannot now say because freestyle has its own loopholes. Freestyle has its own you know, maybe unprofessional things that may come in which
Mm-hmm.
you didn't plan. But because it's freestyle, everybody permits it.
Okay.
But if it's a professional thing which you're rendering service in order to solve a problem, every detail has to count.
Yeah.
Every detail.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between these two things. If I must conclude.
So okay, let me allow Victor to
Okay.
come in. Victor, before you come in, I want you to also buttress on the
Okay.
point that there are clients for self gratification, in as much as there are clients for
Mm,
problem solving. I don't know because somebody buys the
okay.
art
Are you
of
sure about
someone.
that?
All right, please go on.
Okay. So, okay. So, um now I like what Sammy said about expression
Mm-hmm.
and service,
Mm-hmm.
and when he was talking, the industry that came to my mind, that was like the first industry that came to my mind, was the music industry.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
you have you have musicians that the only reason why they entered there, it's obvious, it's clear. The only reason why they entered there is number one for fame, number two for money, number three for women.
Mm-hmm.
You get?
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
That's the
mm,
only reason why they came here. And you will see it in the kind of songs that they sing. You will see it in their lyrics.
Yeah.
There are those that
mm-hmm.
the way they express themselves, the way they express the kind of experiences that they've had in the past is through music. And
Mm-hmm.
those ones also went into the music industry. So whenever you listen to their music, one person who was that way was Adele. Adele, I think all her songs were about herself, about the experiences that she had, the
Mm-hmm.
heartbreaks and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever someone who is heartbroken listens to a song, they
Okay.
feel like someone has also passed through what I'm passing through,
Mm.
or someone has experienced the same thing I'm experiencing.
Mm.
So I feel better listening to this person because it's almost like I'm sharing my experience with someone. So I feel better listening to her.
Okay.
You get? There are those who when it comes to Nigeria, they want to listen to songs that make you feel patriotic about Nigeria, and
Mm.
so they listen to the likes of what's her name now? The Land is Green. What's her name? And then listen to
Asa.
this guy,
Dakolo.
TV Dakolo, yeah. And they
Yeah.
listen to, no, it's not even Asa herself. Is this she's also a photographer too. So there are certain people
Okay.
that you listen to.
Forgot her name.
I don't know. I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting. T.Y. Bello.
Okay, Tiwa
Tiwa
T.Y.
Bello.
Bello,
Bello.
yeah.
Okay.
So there are, so if it's same thing with artists, some of them they have, the thing about, I think that's almost the same kind of thing that happens in design too. Something just pops up in your head and you want to let it out. You don't want it to stay inside because you just want to let it out.
Mm.
And so artists sometimes when that thing comes like that, they just want to let it out. So they just start painting. The
Mm.
way the idea comes to mind, they just start painting. I think
Mm.
the only difference between artists and designers is, especially when you are doing digital art, is when you are done painting, you can clean off some edges. You can do. But artists, when they put it out there, if they want to cover anything, they either use a thicker brush or use paint or do something. But they just want to let it out there, and
Mm.
that's why you see a painting in a gallery that is just literally what we call jaga jaga, and some will
Yes.
pay big dollars to buy that painting because he knows what he's seeing from that painting. It makes no sense. But I went to an art gallery once in Abuja, and it was a horse. Was it a stallion? Sure, horse stallion, and I think there was a rider on it. I was looking at this painting. I was looking at this painting, and it was almost as if there was a pool. No jokes. It was like something was pulling me from the painting. Abi, was it to the painting? You know where it's like person they drag you. I'm looking at it. I'm like, okay, what is this? Honestly speaking, if I had, I think they were selling it 750k. If I had 750k at that time, I for buy that paint. I for buy it because I just know that there was just something about that painting that I cannot explain. I couldn't explain to you today. I cannot explain. All I know was that something was pulling me. And so that is, so when we say problem solving, I think problem solving is not you that determines what problem solving is.
Okay.
The person that determines what problem is being solved is the person that you provided that service to.
Okay.
You understand? And that is why you must have that discussion with, if you are providing a service, you have to have that discussion with them. Understand their pain points so that you know what problem you are meant to solve. So we might just sit back and say, this person has not solved the problem. But you don't know. We might just sit back and say musicians are not solving the problem. But you know there are musicians that if you are heartbroken right now, whether Christians, for those that listen to gospel music, and of course, you know that there are gospel ministers and there are gospel musicians. So if you have a problem spiritually right now and you want to listen to gospel music, of course, you know that you have to listen to gospel ministers, because they're the ones that once you start playing it, you can't. In fact, sometimes you get broken, you start crying, you start praying, and by the time you are done, you feel better. If you are the kind of person that looks to listen to secular music, there are some things that you are into, and you are like, okay, I need to. Sometimes, even as a creative, you want to. There's a kind of songs that you play at a time
when you are designing
that will help you. You understand?
Yeah.
So I think one thing that we should not do is define what the problem is ourselves without letting that definition come from the client first. Okay. Because when we do that, we'll be the ones. I think when we start defining the solutions ourselves and not the client, that's actually what self-gratification then is.
Okay.
That is when we become selfish. Okay. Because we are trying to say the thing this person wants is this, and I'll give it to you. Whereas the problem this person is trying to solve is something different.
Okay.
You get? But what you said about if there are clients for self-gratification, personally, yes.
Okay.
Personally, yes. There are clients for self-gratification. There are clients that the only time I want them to come is when I have how am I going to call it now? Those kind of clients who you don't want to follow design principles, you don't want to follow the rules, you just want to give them what they want. To them, they have solved the problem because it's how they want it. To you, that's why I said that definition of solution has to come from the client. But to you just want the money because you want to feel good.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, I get it now. I get it. All right, thank you very much, guys. Thank you. This is one hell of a question. It really was dragging.
I have a question on this last thing where this man of God talk. Now, should we is it ideal that okay, maybe we have been there, all of us have been there. You are broke, there's this client that always gives you issue, like you said, never follows principles, never like in your own team they go the other opposite side, and you now still go ahead and work with the person. And you know that some of those clients they still talk. If they ask them, who do you say? Now I can't know. Now you know where I'm going now. So how do we?
Yeah.
Because for me, I feel you should grow to a point where you just drop some clients. Just yes, just drop some people. Like I did. Even recently, I did. One pass, I just dropped him. I know 1 year story. How much you want pay me? 5,000, 3,000. You go they stress me. You won't follow design principles. Well, at the end of the day, we will start fighting. You make me look like I'm lying. Make me look like I'm oh God, no, I'll not do it again. You know. So what do we point where there are clients who go for self gratification, who doesn't mind, they just want to please themselves against the image of your brand. What do you do at this point? Yes.
Okay. I should answer.
Let me come in
Yes, now
first.
you they talk say no problem.
Okay.
So let me come
Okay. So okay. All right.
let me come in first before you answer. Okay, because I was just going to give 2 minutes for this question. Please, first of all,
Okay.
you see this question. I've been there. Oh. In fact, when he was explaining, that's why I was laughing. I was laughing because he started with "you are broke." So the first thing that defines you first is that you are broke. You need money. And because this is for us unfiltered and honest discussion. I must be honest as far as I'm concerned. Even before I will start boasting that, oh, I'm collecting up to hundreds of thousands now in logo design. I once was collecting 5,000 naira and I was doing it.
Yeah.
You understand? I was doing
3,000,
it because I was broke. You understand? So honestly speaking, yes. What I did personally, what I did was that I never included that work on my page. Maybe advertise that I did it. And whatever the person said outside that, hey, it was Osman that did the job. Me, I'm not there to come and defend myself. So I see it as it's not my problem. The only thing I know is that anybody that comes to my doorstep and say, did you do this design? I will answer the person in a way that shows that I did it, but I was not the one who did it. Because yes, I will answer it. You know when you answer yes or no for a question, that's exactly what I will answer. Yes, but I was not the one who did it. Then I can start explaining the person and say, okay, let's do a job together. And we can work. So that's the way I see that. I've been there. So I came from that place, and it takes time, Sha. You drop them bit by bit. Once you upgrade small, you go find one way they pay you 1K, 2K, drop them. Somebody's paying you 25, you drop some people of 3K, 4K, you just leave them first. You go higher again, you keep dropping. So that's how it is. All right, please go ahead.
Okay,
Mr.
so
Paul.
I think. Okay,
You
so
have
I think.
answered the question,
Okay, let me because I think. Okay, because I think one thing that causes that dilemma, since you are talking about dilemma, is where we believe that is the only that is our only means of sustenance. I've been there. In fact, I think we've all been there, and those who never did there before, they go see they there. It's a given. You cannot escape it. You understand? Now, we believe that it is the jobs that we do that is going to sustain us. We believe that it is the amount of money that we charge that is going to sustain us. But that's a fallacy. The only thing or the only person that sustains us is God. And the moment we take up that responsibility from ourselves, that is when we've gotten to that level where we can start telling a certain clients, no, I don't want to work with you. Because we believe that it is not by that money that I will survive. I'm going to give two
so regardless
examples.
of whether you are broke or not.
Regardless of whether I've actually been at a point where I needed money badly. I think I shared it in the last dilemma, last month's edition. I think I shared it there. I needed money badly. But to tell this person no, I had to, because whether it is 1 billion now. For instance, I didn't hear that. I know you hear you, Sammy.
You need to hear
it. Just I better takpa you.
Sakpa get greedy.
Yeah, guy. See. Let me just tell you truth. Let me tell you one. I tell you one.
Are you sure it's Sakpa Proma?
Make I tell you one. Make I tell you one. Wait, say. May I tell you one experience like that was real Sakpa. I went to Abuja. Someone introduced me to a client. He wanted to do logo. I needed money badly. I think at that time, how much was I charging for logo? Anyway, because I needed money badly, when I gave him the initial cost, the man said it was too much. I brought it down until I brought it down to the exact amount that he said he's comfortable with, which was like half or more than half of the actual amount I normally would have charged. Like I said, okay, it was more like, if this is the in my mind, like, if this is the amount that you say you do this thing for, and I'll be able to get your money, please give me that amount. I will do the work for you. At the end of the day, that man no do that work. Whatever the reason was, I don't know. Till today, don't worry, I'll get back to you. Till today, and I kept asking myself that question. I said, was this a test, Victor? Was the man, because business, it's a tricky thing, oh.
Yes.
Sometimes people want to test your resolve to know whether you are actually as professional as you say you are. So when they tell you this is what I have to pay,
Papa speaking.
you are the one that knows your value. You are the one that knows the value of what you are giving. So do you want to now compromise that value because you feel that if you don't do that job right now, you will die. You are going to starve to death. So I think the major questions that we should ask ourselves, first of all, like genuinely, before we now determine whether we can define whether we are broke or not, is that particular thing that I want to do right now.
All right.
Is it a matter of life and death?
We can round off this thing. We promise to close by 11.
Can you imagine? I never ever quoted the story by what myself. No, so maybe we just leave her.
It's okay. Well, this is just question.
Maybe we just leave her.
Please. All right, now, Mr. Vic, we are still coming back to you. So let's know now. This one says, do you think that designers have a responsibility to prioritize problem solving over self-gratification in their work, or is it more subjective? I believe we have answered some of this, but just at least in 2 minutes, just say something about this, okay?
Right. Yes, prioritize problem solving over it. And I think this is the best time I'll even say those stories that I want to say.
Oh yeah, no.
TA Talalabi, he said the story of a what's this guy now? This people that do what do they call it now? Electrician. He's electrician. And his electricians, I know what they do now. Just fix lights, change this and change that, fix this thing. And then the next thing was, the electrician came. He told him that he is now in his own house. Like he bought his own house. Like, but something small about him. And he was like, how? From this 5K, 10K, 15K job, you built your own house. How? Please, I want to know the story. And the man said that someone, I think was it a referral or something, he's a big man. He needed someone to fix electrical problem in the house. And he got to get his number. He called him. He came around to the house. And the man said, people have been coming to do this, but they've not been able to get it. And the guy started, in 2 days, he fixed it. And the man said, wow, that people have actually come to this house. They spend weeks. They've not been able to do it. How much should I charge you? How much do you want me to pay you for this? And the guy said he thought the man was joking. You know this thing of, pay me 2 million. And the man paused and said, okay, before the end of today, you get the alert. That job would not cost anything close to 100K. And he said before he got home, he got alert, bam, bam, 2 million naira. He called the man.
My God.
Oga. He said, Oga, you sent me 2M. He said, yes. That is to show you the amount of value I have on the job that he did for me. People have been coming to do this thing. They've not been able to do it. For 2 weeks, I've been spending money. They've not been able to do it. But he did it. And when you said 2 million, you felt that 2 million is what is going to make you feel satisfied for the kind of job that I did. And that's why I paid that money.
Wow.
The guy said thank you.
Wow.
He went, bought land, did the house and everything.
Wow.
Personally, just recently, there was someone who, at that time, when the guy came for that job, it was his dad's burial. Of course, it's not like it just now we started interacting. And I said, I'm not going to charge this guy for this design that he wants to do. I'm not going to charge him. So when he was done, with the whole thing and everything, was like, so Abeg, send me your account. How much? And I said, no, don't worry. I didn't plan on charging you for it. Believe you me, I needed cash badly at that point in time. I needed cash badly. But I told myself, Victor, don't charge this guy. So it was not a thing of, this is the agreement I'd had with myself.
Okay.
Do you know that just recently I had a need, like, where you need cash need that you don't even know how to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy just, like, how the discussion even started, said, I don't know. It's just like, okay, how far? I told him. How much do you need? I told him. I said, because there's actually a project that was supposed to work on together.
Mm.
We had already started. The person was supposed to pay. It was someone that he knows. But he said that with the time frame that you are giving me, that you are telling me that you need this money, this lady is not looking like she's going to come through, and there are more things that she wants to do. Then, okay, what will happen is this: I'll give you the full amount. The amount of money that the lady would have paid is less than the full money I need. Though. I'll give you the full amount. From all the jobs that we'll be doing, because there's some other things that we're going to do, we'll counterbalance from there. Hope that's okay. I said yes. That day. Send me a candidate. They sent me the money. I forwarded to the next person, and that burden off my neck. I don't know whether it is because of that or because of the way we've been relating in the past before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when we feel that we should focus on gratifying ourselves and not solving problems, we lose the opportunity of having value-based clients, because actually those kind of clients actually help us to live that our dream life. Where an electrician that's charging 5,000 is one that will come and help give you 2 million naira. There was almost a project I would have been there. In fact, just because of time, let me not even add that one, because I'd have added that, but because of time, let me not add it. Okay. So focus on problem solving and not self-gratification.
Yeah. Before Icon comes in, I want to quickly want Icon to talk about something. This self-gratification we're talking about here, sometimes it's not just to make a design pop, but it's also to make your pocket pop, bank account pop. So in essence, sometimes we are not actually solving the problem, but we are out there trying to get the money. If you actually listen to the story that Mr. Vaunt just finished telling us, you will understand that it's about somebody, or let's say some persons coming to a man's house trying to solve a problem, but ending up being paid without solving the problem. I remember one client I had. The client told me this. He told me this specifically. He said, I will pay you for the work done, and this is how I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you whether you get the work done well or not, but please focus on doing the work well. Do you know what that means? That was like, if you do the work well, we will pay you, but even if you don't do the work well, we will pay you, but we'll leave you. So you know that kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Like, we'll give you the money but we'll walk away. You are not going to be our client, our go-to person for design again. So you need to see me at that point. Receiving money was like, nah, this hand is shaking now. You know, that kind of a thing. So, all right, Mr. Icon, please.
Okay. Where my fathers have spoken, what do I have? Small boy like me. It's just to throw light to what the elders have said. That is just it. Let's focus on. In fact, Mr. Gavito said something. Value-based clients. I like value-based clients. People that will beyond design. Recently, by the way, I'm not working again with Amadiva. I'm sure some of us know, like Usman, you know about it.
Yeah.
I resigned and I was able to handle that issue maturely. Guess what? In my last Wongo, she sent me money to support Wongo.
Wow.
This is somebody that we were supposed to be enemies, quarreling. But God gave me wisdom. I handled the issue. We're okay. In fact, as a matter of fact, till now, she still consults me on the issues in the office.
Wow.
Till now. Yes.
Wow.
That's how God helped me to handle the issue. You see, I like value. I like relationships a lot. Although we are human, sometimes, issues can happen. Like recently, like I say, me and Osman, one get one small, but thank God it didn't escalate. But issues will always come. But let's focus on value. And what is that value? Value entails really, really delivering values, knowing our onions. Imagine if that electrician you mentioned didn't know what he was doing, or he wouldn't get the money, or he would just get the number he got.
Mm.
He didn't solve the problem and he will go. You
Mm.
understand? So let's focus on um, doing everything we can to make sure we retain value based customers.
Mm.
And of course, that's centered around delivering value, solving the problem, and not just pleasing ourselves.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Icon. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. The next question now is can you talk about a time when you struggled to find a balance between problem solving and self gratification in a design project and how you resolved the issue? Okay, this is a question you have actually asked us, Icon, and if we come back to you, that's like asking the question I asked before. So this is just like what we define self gratification to be is sometimes it's not just to make the design pop so that you can be fulfilled that you made a design. Also, it could be because of your pockets. You want to make your pockets richer, so you are not even after problem solving. So, but let's also look at it this way: is there a possibility where there was a time where you really needed something? I know this thing need to come through, and here is a problem for a client. Client wants it solved. I think we should also go this way. Client gives deadline, say 1 week
Mm.
for
Mm.
maybe a basic logo project, and then in that 1 week you know that you cannot deliver that job in 1 week. But because if you tell the person you cannot deliver in 1 week, he will carry his money and go. Then you decided to say, give me, I will deliver it in 1 week. Am I saying something? Am I speaking people's mind?
Yeah, it
So
happens. It happens.
and
Yes.
here you are, you receive the money and told the person, yes, in 1 week I will deliver. Only for maybe you collected it on Monday, on Friday he rings you and say, how far? I hope my job is going to be ready by Monday. And your heart skips. That point where your heart skips, what you are thinking is, how do I make this thing to be ready before Monday? The truth is that whatever stunt you pull between Saturday and Sunday to deliver that job on Monday will not be your best. You get it now? Will not be your best because you had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to solve, to at least to come to a point where you say, okay, I'm going to go through this route and go through this route. Draw your map and around how you're going to solve the problem. But here you are, Friday night, Saturday night, and even while you are in the church self, I'm thinking you are thinking how you are going to be doing design instead of focusing on, you are not settled any longer. So let's come from this dimension where we are talking about solving problem or self gratification, especially when it has to do with client needs, especially. Mr. Victor, please.
Ah, I thought you already even answered the question yourself.
No, I need you to say something about it. Answer which question? At least share your own
Okay,
experience. Share your own
okay,
experience.
okay. So I've actually been there before.
Yeah.
Have I been there recently? I don't know, but um, right now, if I'm going to ever do that, like if I'm going to ever take on a project like this instance I gave now, when I know I'm not going to deliver on time,
Hmm.
and what is going to happen is the best way, because we have certain reasons why we do certain things.
Hmm.
The best way I get myself out of it is I make sure that um I charge for that tight time frame.
Hmm.
And if they accept the project, I get more people on board so that I can be able to deliver the work.
Okay.
That's what I do. Now, before before
Hmm.
anything I will do just to make sure that I deliver it, because I need, when you're growing and when you're advancing,
Yeah.
you get wiser.
Yeah.
So before my own is I need that money because I want to solve something I feel is a need
Okay.
at that point in time.
Okay.
So whatever I will do it. You get, but right now, because it's just a matter of how best to go about it.
Yeah.
If you say I need this at this time, I'm not the one that forced you to give me the job. You
Yeah.
came to me,
Yeah.
uh and you are telling me that this is when you need it. No problem. Oh. But if you want me to do it for you, I
Hmm.
will give you how I'll handle it for you. But then you are going to have to pay
Hmm.
for it.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Minister Icon, I don't know if you have something to add in just a minute because we're trying to round up now.
Okay. Well, we're growing, and there are two ways I solve this kind of problem. Before it wasn't like that. I was killing myself. I would make mess of the whole thing, and you know,
Mm,
uh, deliver below my standard,
mm,
both self gratification and both problem solving. The design no reach, so I just it's just there, just send and make the client see something. But over time, I grew.
mm.
Just like Ogavito said, one of the things I do is I'll step up my game. I'll charge you in a way that because money brings out the ministry, you know.
Hmm.
So imagine, imagine there was no. I'm not joking. An amount of money they will pay you for a project. Sleep will disappear from off of your eye. Now
Exactly,
I
because to fear to not deliver self, don't give a lie sleep.
exactly.
Thank
There's
you.
this international client I had.
Mm,
Very simple job. We say, I won't start one automobile something for Belgium here. Help me do one small flyer. How much? Because the guy don't, of course, he don't stay in Nigeria before, so I just told him 40,000. Said, and it was at night.
mm,
He was going to print. In them that side, then they morning, he just wake up.
mm,
So he gave me a time where I will be able to deliver. And when I will deliver here, will be around 4 a.m. So I will be awake from that time he called me to that time, 4 a.m.
mm.
That's basically I'm working throughout the night.
Yeah,
And him, he's in his daytime. So now me they suffer him. So I told him 40,000.
for your sleep.
And od- yes, ordinarily what I charge for flyer is 10,000, 5K.
Mm.
But I told him 40,000 and he paid. Bro, I did that job, delivered it sweetly. As a job makes
So
sense.
this is
What
the money
motivated me
ministry thing
was,
now. The money
yes,
minister
the
to you.
ministry moved. Yes. So, but however,
The ministry moved to whole night.
this one, yes, so I scaled through because this guy paid me.
Hmm.
If he didn't pay me, it would have been an issue. So how I solve this problem for people that won't pay me is I let go of the job jejely.
Hmm.
Like I just tell you, bros. I'll be honest with you. I no go. I don't think so. And now there's a trick I use in order not to sometimes lose the money. Is
Hmm.
I'll tell you, I no go fit to, but can we see how it goes just to psych the customer, because sometimes customer may even tell you on Friday, but when they need the thing month end, they will tell you this Friday just because they want. There are people who want their things intact on time,
Hmm.
but they just give you deadline, but they know when they need the thing. So if you psych them too, and they give you this welcoming whatever that response that okay, it's not bad, but hey, I be need am. It means you can do the job. It means you can also delay it till Monday rather than
Yes.
Friday, so you can collect the job. So these are the three ways I solve this problem. First is either I turn it down. Second is I charge high, or I cite
The
the
client.
clients to know whether they can increase
The
the
timeline.
days that I will, yes, my the time that I will deliver the job.
Okay.
Those are three ways I solve this problem.
All right. Thank you very much. I think I still need to come and learn that third one. That's a psyching thing. I will come and learn how you do it. All right. Finally, we're almost to the end of this program. This is the last question for the day, and I want us to both to talk about this. Finally, can you describe a specific design project that you worked on? Okay, this will come with an example where problem solving and self gratification were both important factors in the final product. I'm sure this comes a lot. Maybe I don't know, but let me hear from Mr. Icon first. I don't know if there have been any design project where you worked on and you just need to see that even if while you are solving problems, self gratification is also there. It's also needed. So let's
Yes,
hear.
yes. I had something like that. Hey, I wish I could share my
If
screen.
you
There's
can.
this
If you
particular
can.
flyer.
Okay, if you can.
I don't know where that image is now, but let me just stop. I wouldn't know.
Okay.
It is. Now, it's about Chacha AK.
Okay.
Now, Chacha AK gave me a flyer to do,
Mm.
and that flyer, it's about our president, that's the presidential candidate, the last presidential candidate, Peter Obi.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a congratulatory whatever
Okay.
flyer,
Okay.
carrying her picture, and then of course P2B's picture
Okay.
and all that. And she wanted to share it both on international platforms and all that. So
Okay.
when the job came, and Chacha is high up there, and so for she to come to meet me to do flyer for her means she get people where they do am before, and beautiful,
Yes.
professionals. But so that job put me on my toe. It's a simple e-flyer, but I needed to both solve the problem and make sure that if I send her the flyer, she go mellow,
Mm.
you know. And by God's grace, I did.
Okay.
I did. And when I sent her the flyer, she was like, "Wow, this is beautiful, icon." And I like the response.
Mm.
Guess what? Okay, let me even share this story. Guess what? She
What?
didn't pay me for that flyer.
Uh-uh.
Yes, she didn't pay me, and I didn't charge her.
Wow.
I wanted to
No, it's
draw
not that
her
she didn't pay
closer.
you. You didn't charge her, so she didn't pay you.
I did no, yes, okay, two of them, in the
No, which
sense
one
that
came first? One came first.
no, no, no. Why I said she didn't pay me and I didn't charge her. There are two different things. In the
Okay.
sense that normally I did a particular job for her before.
Okay.
Maybe what made her didn't mention the payment thing is
Mm-hmm.
the disappointment in the rigging of P2B, and I too was pained. So uh,
Okay.
out of my own patriotism, I left the money. Then
Ah,
I
okay.
also thought that you didn't tell this woman anything, so just let it slide. Thirdly, I
Mm-hmm.
saw it as an opportunity to build a
Relationship.
stronger relationship with
Okay.
her.
Okay.
And recently, the relationship is paying off. She has given me a logo for her brand that she wants to start a brand in Asaba here.
Okay.
I be
Okay.
where yes, in Asaba she wants to be selling. It's a fashion brand anyway, and
Okay.
she gave me the job, and I'm already on the job now. So
So,
um,
so this is for you self gratification with the previous
yes,
job.
it
Yeah.
yes, it was both self gratification, and
And
I made
problem
sure
solving.
that the problem was solved, because I not go design nonsense wey no match. Finally maybe she didn't use it, but
Yeah, yeah,
she
but
saw
she loved
the
it. Even if
the
maybe
the
something had happened positively to P2B's this thing, it will still be used
oh,
anyway.
exactly.
Yeah,
That was what I was looking at. That was where my target was, because it would have probably given birth to other projects and all that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the two factors, I considered them while I was doing that job.
All right. Mr. Avant, please, let's hear from you in 2 minutes so we can wrap up this program.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just share my screen.
All right.
Um. Yeah. I do. I have. Yeah. Okay. Um. Sorry. What are you guys saying? Oh.
Your phone.
See your phone.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I seen the IG this now.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen the IG.
Mm,
Okay. Yeah. That
flexible.
flexible. Yeah. Exactly. So this project was a collaboration with Tolalabi Consult. That's
Hmm.
TA and his partner.
Hmm.
And TA just called me that morning and said, Victor, there's a project that I want to do, working with the clients, and you're the one that came to mind. Actually, I think his partner mentioned my name, or was it that he also? But anyway, Asha came to their mind.
Hmm.
And honestly speaking, for me, TA is saying I should do a project with him. Jesus. Is that supposed to be a no?
No, now.
I said yes. Ah, I said definitely.
Hmm.
That for me, that pride of I got to do a project with Tolerable Consult. I got to do a project with TA. Like we worked on the project
Yeah.
together directly.
Yeah.
We shared ideas together. We got to know how I got to know how they're working on their listings. That was it for me. It was not even the money that was even paid.
Mm.
It was the fact that that feeling was more. And of course, the we of course the solution was the height of, because at some point when we're trying to the funny thing is it was more positive for me, especially
Okay.
with the reviews, because at that point in time, it got to a time when I think his partner um, gave birth at that period. His wife gave birth, so there was now a delay, like a drag, because of course, childbirth is not something that you can just. So he was almost silent all through. So
Yeah.
at some point, it was almost like they were the ones that were now delaying. You get, so you send, and it was not like delay were coming from their own end and all that. Even at some point, said TA will even be asking me like, "Don't be angry," and then be asking me the reviews like, "How are we?" When your mentor is asking you to rate them,
Mm.
it was something else for me. You get, so
Yeah.
the experience I got at that point in time was it for me.
Okay.
And when it came to the part of making sure that we delivered solution, it because I think TA they also even had to come up with a concept, but it was almost like this one I came up with was what was more appealing to the
Mm.
client, which was also another one for me, because they're like, what? Oh my god!
Mm.
Like it was my own they wanted.
Wow.
Ha! Glory! You get, so yes, definitely. This is just one of those projects. There are
Yeah.
some other ones where both of them were in play, but at the end of the day, as I said, self gratification is not bad. It is good.
Okay.
You understand? Because it's like you're trying to fulfill a desire. You're trying to fulfill a need. But what gets you far, and I think that's just what gets you far, is
Yeah.
actually problem solving. That's what gets you far. Problem
Okay.
solving.
All right. Thank you very much all for this wonderful time with you. It's been very, very wonderful. I appreciate so much. I'll get to Mr. Vaughn. You can stop sharing your screen now.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry. I don't.
So I'll get to
Ew.
always want to have this time with
Yeah,
us.
stop sharing.
We are, I mean, the most amazing crew for this. I'm hoping that next month we might be discussing something very, very crucial, and I will share it with us on the what is it called, on our DM, so that we can get ready for next month's own. Please just remember, every first Saturday, and by this time 10 a.m. we'll start. I see that Promise joined us by 11. Actually, sorry if you joined by 11. There was a mistake in time. I shared 11 before, but I had to change it to 10. All right. So thank you very much. Thank you all so much for this. Mr. Icon, thank you very much. And please also try as much as possible to share this on your various platforms, so that we can have more persons joining us. Thank you very, very much. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, sirs.
Thank you.